Yeah, now we talk now. Now here we did for Paris. I walk on winter. You see now, this music team, we call music. And we the rule. Like 1 year ball.
Feel that one.
Feel
that
rule.
one. Feel that one.
That was No Two Letters, a track off a new collaboration between Nigerian singer-songwriter Keziah Jones and Philippe Cohen Solal, a co-founder of the electro-tango trio Gotan Project. Now, in February, they released an EP. It's called Class of '89, and it features a real blend of influences and styles, 60s rhythm and blues, mid-'80s electro-pop, and a hint of Motown as well. And it's the product of a 30-year-old friendship between the two musicians, and they are here in the studio to tell me more about it. Welcome to France 24.
Thank you.
Real pleasure to have you guys. So this EP is actually a reference to the year you guys met, 1989. Keziah, can you tell me a little bit more about this first encounter?
Yeah, it was a pretty unique year in the sense that I was busking in Paris. I just left school. And I'd found a place, because before I was playing in the wrong place. The idea was to make enough money to get my ticket back, so I didn't make any money. I found the right place in front of a cafe in Leal. I was playing in front of there when he was there as well. So that's how we met. He came up to me afterwards and asked me if I had a demo tape. I had no idea what a demo tape was. And we went into the studio and made a demo.
So Philippe, this was, you heard something that was something like you'd never heard before.
Exactly, yeah.
And it was, what exactly did you see in Keziah the first time?
First, very, like he was stunning, you know. Sometimes you see in the metro or in the street people who are busking, but this one was special because I remember he had like an old acoustic guitar with a black and white picture of Ray Charles or Louis Armstrong, we don't remember now.
Right.
But and he was just amazing and very percussive. He was already playing his blue funk, you know, and I never heard that before. And the people in the audience, they loved it too. You know, so for me, it was very clear that he was extremely talented, and that's why I asked him if no one approached him before, and he said no, and no one.
So you seized the opportunity. So this was the beginning of a 30-year-old friendship between the two of you. So you waited 30 years to release this material together. Why did you wait so long?
Yeah. Well, after that time, obviously I went into a different direction. I got signed. I did my whole touring. He had a different direction and did his own. I didn't know he was a musician then. But we kept in touch throughout the years. When I found out or I saw his music, I was like, oh, even better, he's a musician. So it kind of worked out that way, that naturally would come back together again and make music together.
Just had to wait for the right
moment,
the right alignment of the planets.
Exactly. It's like it's true that with Keziah's music and my music was pretty different at the time, and what we succeeded to do with this new collaboration is to blend and to mix our two genres, or I mean two sources of, and now we are more mature. So it's our trust and friendship. It was pretty fluid to work together.
I think maybe at the time also it might have been more difficult to blend this kind of music. I think now that the breakdown of genres and categories is a lot easier to do this, you know, in a way for the public.
Well, it's incredibly catchy what you guys have managed to create together. We're going to listen to a track off the album. It's called Give Thanks and Praises. Take a listen. Such a catchy track there. Give Thanks and Praises, so off your EP, Class of '89. A real message of gratitude here. Why is it important to give thanks and praise? Perhaps due to these troubled times we're in, or?
I think, I think you've evolved in your own unique way. I've evolved in my unique way. It's not guaranteed in music that one ends up as what one wants to be. So I give thanks for that generally. And I guess like you said, in the times we're living in, I think it's good to focus on the things that you really appreciate much more nowadays. I think that helps getting through the day.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Philippe? Things
I
to
think
give
for
you
me,
thankful for?
it's just about the same, because I think in the past I was, even with my band Gotan Project, we are really trying to mix the past and the future.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the years, I'm more concerned I'm more focused with the present time, with the day to day, because you never know you don't know, the past is past.
Yeah.
Anyway, and the future, we don't know anything about the future. So the only thing which matters, it's the present. And that's why every morning we have to give thanks and praises to get up and be in good health and do our passion.
Yeah, well, that's the message that really comes through that track we listened to. It's a wonderful track to listen to first thing in the morning, I guarantee it. Mm-hmm. So you really managed to mix your two styles, as you guys were saying, blue funk. For you, Philippe, your more electro side. How did you manage to find that balance on this EP? What was it like working together on this EP?
Very easy, I would say. No, very. And that was absolutely. I think it was without too much thinking. We just first we started to work on my place, my home, because I've got all my DJ tools, a piano, a guitar. So we start just to try things and starting almost from scratch. Mm-hmm. And after we went to the studio downstairs in the same building, and we start to work, record, produce. And it was I think because we know each other since such a long time now, more than 30 years. So, and I think we trust each other a lot. And thanks to that, we are not shy, showing things and be doing something more intimate. I don't know. We just try to do good music without any pressure. Mm-hmm.
It was easy in the sense that I don't normally collaborate, and my music is quite very solo, very particular. But it was easier in the sense that he has a wide musical knowledge. Like, his house is full of records, and I can reference anything. The way I work is like references, associations. You know what I mean? If I throw this name out, he knows it, or he knows somebody who knows it. So that was really easy for me to work with somebody in that way, because it's all about references, and people generally don't have a very broad, wide musical artistic reference, can make music out of or art out of, and he has that, so that was quite easy for me.
And you released it on your record label, if I understand correctly, Yabasta Records. Mm-hmm. Did this give you extra artistic freedom?
I mean, we have total artistic freedom. It's
no pressure.
We talk to each other and say, okay, we do this or we don't do that. Yeah. There is no pressure. Yeah. There is no one above us who say, yeah, you should do this, or you shouldn't do that. No, we just decide together, and if you don't want to do something, we don't do it. Mm-hmm. If we started to do one track, and without thinking, okay, we're gonna do an EP. We just did one track, and after we did another one, and that's how we work.
Sounds like the best.
No pressure at all, freedom, and because I think it's what the people are expecting from an artist is to be free. Mm-hmm. It's what they are buying even from you. It's your piece of freedom. Yeah. And so that's why we only can offer our freedom.
Yeah. And speaking of freedom, Keziah, you've often credited the fact that you were busking in the streets, which is total freedom, and also playing in the metro here in Paris. The metro is a really interesting place in Paris because a lot of artists have actually gotten a start there. You did, Benjamin Clementine as well. And why would you say that the metro is such a great place to perform?
It's a funny thing. I mean, it's counterintuitive. It shouldn't be the great place to perform in, but it is because of all the funny things around it. The acoustics, for example, are always amazing. When you sing anything, you can really hear the sound of it. Secondly, people are actually very busy about their day. So in a way, you're intervening in people's days, and it gives them a little moment of bliss. Like, if you open your mind to something really amazing on your way to work, it's a moment of bliss. And for the artist, it's really special because for you to stop on your way to something else, that's also a moment of bliss. Yeah. I think maybe that's how it works. It's a very unusual little thing, but when it works, it's very, very beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it's a wonderful experience if ever you're in the Paris metro. I highly recommend it. We're going to move on to some other music news that's making headlines, and the 2023 edition of Glastonbury went out with a bang as it was headlined headlined by the one and only Sir Elton John. Now, despite a career spanning 7 decades, it was the Rocket Man's first ever appearance at the legendary music festival and his last ever UK gig. So Sunday night's set came more than 5 years after he announced his 350-date Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. It was originally due to end in 2021, but was delayed due to the COVID pandemic. Now, the 76-year-old performer planned an entirely new 2-hour show for his headline performance at Glastonbury, much to the enjoyment of fans. Check it out.
You live your life like a candle in the wind. Your candle burned out long before you never did. Long time.
He's fantastic. You know, he mustn't retire. This is my 10th Glastonbury, so it's the perfect way to end my 10th Glastonbury.
Well, he was emotional. You could tell it from when he was talking to the crowd at the beginning, and then the crowd gave him the emotion back. So it was just lovely, lovely to see.
It was emotional. Just connected all the dots, sung the tunes, touched your heart, and made you cry. That's as good as it gets.
Looked like an amazing concert there. We're going to leave you with some last bit of news. This is quite fun. A lost Frank Zappa album from 1970 is set to get an official release. It's freshly dug out of the Zappa vault. It's called Funky Nothingness, and it's believed to have been intended for a sequel to Hot Rats, the avant-garde rocker's 1969 solo debut. Now, the album will include over 3 hours worth of newly unearthed music, including the previously unreleased song Work With Me Annie. Annie had a baby. We're going to leave you with that track, but before we go, I want to thank my guests today, Keziah and Philippe. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
And congratulations on your new EP, Class of '89. Hope this will lead to an album, perhaps.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
In the meantime, do check out Class of '89. And you can also check us out on social media and stay tuned to France 24. More news is coming up right after this.